Now, for YouTube drama in general, I usually like to stay pretty anonymous just because, even though it helps a lot with YouTube views, I think being reactionary in a lot of these drama situations is very unhealthy because the pendulum of your opinion can swing so drastically with all the stuff everybody's saying. But with this in particular, I felt like it was very important for me to chime in just because it fucking bothers me to the core, and there's an aspect of this that not a lot of people are talking about and really pisses me off more than any other drama in recent history. But before we get into it, I'd highly recommend watching the other video I uploaded that's about 30 minutes long, and it's just a straight compilation of all the raw footage and tweets from this situation so far. If you guys haven't, please watch that footage just so we're all on the same page about what we're talking about and what we've seen people say and do for this situation. Now, Chubbs is a piece of shit. Chubbs is fucking retarded for doing this. I think it's very ignorant, very immature, which is pretty hilarious considering that this 12-year-old is being extremely mature for his age, and Chubbs is just being the complete opposite with the way he handled the situation. I don't think he's an evil person, but I do think he's fucking retarded. And I don't necessarily disagree with anything anyone's said, and I respect their opinions, but this shit is all coming at the expense of a 12-year-old. Now, I think that a lot of adults don't respect kids as much as they should, especially certain parents, just depending on who you are and what culture you've been brought up in the home. But I don't see people respecting kids as much as they should. Kids can be just as smart as adults at 12, but there are some distinct differences. There's a reason they're still considered a child beyond their appearance. Now, this is not an insult to you, Aiden, if you are watching this, because everybody has been 12 at some point, and I think you're probably one of the most smart 12-year-olds out there, for sure. I'm sure a lot of people who have watched your videos in the past before this situation has mistaken you for being 14, 16. You're very smart for your age, but the way people are willingly putting this 12-year-old in the crossfire as if he's any other bigger YouTuber. Obviously, people are very supportive of him. There's a lot of good coming towards him. But even if it's good, you are putting this guy in a tornado of drama. Anybody, adult, child, would be overwhelmed with this type of drama. Most people would be overwhelmed with this type of drama in some fashion. Everybody's different on how they get overwhelmed and how they deal with everything, and this isn't a 100% negative experience, but it is going to have effect on you psychologically, and for a child, you're just so much psychologically weaker just by nature. This is not an insult to anyone. You haven't had the trial and error that most people had. You haven't had the time to have the trial and error socially in every situation. So you're a lot less resilient. You don't know really what's the best course of action to deal with stuff mentally. And with this whole situation, especially with the recent video response that Aiden put out, it bothers me so fucking much how Keemstar can make like 30 minutes worth of Twitter videos and tweets of just raw footage and time talking and milking such a simple situation at the expense of a kid. Yes, if this person was an adult, I think everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory in the drama sphere. But this shit, just you gotta think about it from his perspective, right? For anybody, regardless of their age, being in this sort of drama, especially for the very first time, is going to eat away at you. It's going to be your 24/7 thoughts, always thinking about, what do I say? What's next? What's the response? Just going on this drama wave. And sometimes it can be really fun, but especially if you're in the thick of it, it can be very just like, what the fuck is going on? What do I say? How are people going to react to this? And I'm sure he's not having a lot of this now because this side is just so in support of him, especially because of his age. But just being in that environment, I don't think is healthy for him, regardless of how smart he is. Like, Christmas recently happened. I was hanging out with my extended family. Some of my cousins are 11 years old, and younger. And one 11-year-old cousin I think is super smart, super bright for her age. Very comparable to Aiden in my opinion. Just imagining her in this situation, or even just seeing Aiden's facial expressions and how much pure anger is in his response video, is honestly not healthy. It's gonna be a situation that he looks back on when he grows up and thinks about and subconsciously eats at his mind, because there's just so many people talking to him, so many people discussing it, so many influential people discussing it, everybody with different opinions. Like, let's quickly watch Aiden's response, and I want you to pay very close attention to his facial expressions, his tone of voice, and what he's saying.
I just want to say that many people want to stop me from making this video, but I am releasing it because I want to get out what I want to say. No Keemstar, no iNabber, this is all coming straight from my mouth. Before I release this video, Chubbs now wants to talk. Why didn't you talk to me weeks ago after you scammed me? Oh, that's right, because you don't give two shits about me. The only thing you give two shits about is your reputation. You and your group of friends are a bunch of manipulators doing what you do best. Manipulate. You'll all shit talk anybody when you get the chance, and you all leech off of each other, cause that's what you are, a bunch of leeches. And this community is a pond filled with those blood-sucking leeches. Now, I paid $150 to Chubbs for an audio clip, never got me the audio clip, cursed me out when I confronted him, and now he's all apologetic. You want me to feel sorry for you, but look what happened when I was upset. Adam got very angry at me and said I didn't want to make things right because I retweeted a joke. I retweeted a joke that my friend made because I thought it was funny. And you're using that as an argument against me? You and Adam called me out for milking the situation. I'm not trying to milk the situation, I just want my money back. Chubbs claims he can't afford to give me that money right now. Well, you know what? You should have thought about that before you took the money. Least you could do is borrow from a friend, pay me now, and then over time pay them back. And your last video did 1.6 million views. Chubbs, the new Mr. Krabs of YouTube. And people are saying I'm trying to deflect criticism because of my age. I don't care how old I am. If you want to attack me, go ahead and attack me. But if I don't like your argument, I'm going to defend myself, and nobody can stop me from saying my opinion. People are saying I'm being manipulated, and I'm a puppet of Keemstar. Keemstar didn't script this, nor did Keemstar help with this. This is coming out of my own mouth. All of you are fake. You don't care about your friends. You don't care about your fans. I looked up to every single one of you. I aspired to be like you. I wanted to make good content, and I wanted to be a successful YouTuber. But now seeing everything you've done to me, and now seeing how fake you all are, I'm really having second thoughts on that.
Obviously from this video, this guy feels betrayed. There's a lot of anger coming out. And this is just not healthy for anyone. People should look at this response. And, I mean, on the surface, everything he said was fine. Everything was okay. But when you listen to his tone of voice, keep in mind he's a 12-year-old, and see his facial expressions and everything, you can just see that this is not a fucking good thing for him. If this is the type of response we're seeing from him, which it is, I think that the people who ignited this type of response, Keemstar, NetNobody, Chubbs, the main three, especially Keemstar and NetNobody, you guys should be fucking ashamed. This should not be an ideal outcome at all. At all. You need to learn why putting children in this type of environment is not healthy for them. It's just not. This guy, I feel so sorry for the kid, dude. Dude, he's so pissed. He feels like the whole YouTuber community has betrayed him. I don't blame him, dude. They kind of have, and it's fucked. It's fucked for anyone to experience that. Anybody, but especially if you're a kid and you idolize these people, try to compare yourself to when you were a child. You maybe looked up to Elvis or some shit like that. What if Elvis was just like, oh, kid, like fucking acting in drama and like fucking saying all these stuff with so much aggression and so much passion in your voice and all these videos and putting all this pressure onto this kid? Like, what the fuck, dude? That would be so fucked. This is what you're doing. This is stupid. This is fucked up. Straight up fucked. Maybe I'm reflecting myself onto him, or maybe I'm reflecting other children onto him that I see. But honestly, I can't see a world where this kid walks away from the situation, and when he becomes 20, which is my age, or just a young adult in general, he won't just think about this in the back of his head like it's a subconscious thing that could trigger intense emotions and be basically traumatic. Because even though this doesn't seem like a big deal, and most adults could handle these situations, and I think Aiden's handling this situation pretty well for his age, or just in general, because I think a lot of people could crack under this pressure, even like full-grown adults. Like, it's funny, I don't think Ethan could handle being in this type of spotlight and talking directly. Obviously, he has been in this type of spotlight, but anytime he's in this type of drama scenario, he usually freezes up, doesn't respond a lot, and he's admitted to kind of not being able to take what he deals out a lot of the time. I think Aiden is dealing with this way better than Ethan, but if this type of drama fucking eats away at someone like Ethan, a fully grown adult who's married and has been married for a while, what is this gonna do to a 12-year-old, especially since, like, you're still in the development stages of growing up? Now, something I want to talk about more in depth is Keemstar's response to this drama in general, overall, but a tweet in particular that has me super, super concerned, and it's in response to Aiden's response video. I'll play it right now, and then we can talk about it.
Dear Aiden, I'm sorry that Chubbs screwed you over and other YouTubers attacked you, but not all YouTubers are like that, all right? Like, we used to have a community. I remember when I started, like, YouTubers would just help each other out. When I see people with talent, I help them out. I've helped out multiple YouTubers. Kavas, I always knew he was talented, gave him a little shout out, and then he just took off. On the next Drum Alert, I'm going to make sure that you get your silver play button, because you're a good YouTuber. So expect that shout out, buddy.
So on paper, this is a nice thing for Keem to do and for Keem to say. And I do think Aiden is a very good YouTuber for his age. But I really don't think it's healthy for a 12-year-old to be a YouTuber, if I'm going to be completely blunt. I think goofing around, having a low fan base, like just like 50 subscribers or something as a kid, can be healthy, especially if you want to learn how to be a YouTuber and stuff. But being in the fucking limelight as a child, no matter how good your editing is, no matter how good your vocabulary and your thought process and your videos are basically as a kid, it's a lot to think about. Like, if you're going to be a big YouTuber and Keemstar legitimately wants to push this kid to a silver play button, he's gonna feel so much responsibility on his hands for, like, uploading videos, making people enjoy his content and stuff. And that's something that even for me, I struggle with pretty minorly, like just being like, holy shit, what will people think about this video, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of other YouTubers think this way as well. And it's just like, you're putting this responsibility onto a 12-year-old. Like, do you guys remember, even, let's just raise the bar a bit, because a lot of 12-year-olds can be pretty immature depending on how they were raised and, like, how they are as people in general, like, just the combination of the two. For this analogy, let's just raise the age up to, like, 16. But imagine when you were 16 even, or let's just go 15, because that's not too far off of his age, only 3 years. So, put yourself in Aiden's shoes if you were 15. Do you legitimately think that you could walk away from the situation as just a blip on the radar in your life, not thinking about it a lot as you grow up, and having the experience mold you? The internet is a very toxic place. It can be supportive. There is a lot of examples of being supportive and super kind on the internet, but it's a toxic place, and people attract to negativity way more than they do to positivity, which is, I mean, if you're in the drama community, you know this a lot. A lot of the bigger stories are based off negativity, right? There's not really many big positive stories. There are some, but drama is really just fueled by people being mad at each other and everyone being upset and being in the crossfire of all that. Fuck, dude. He's 12, dude. Even if he was 15, I'd be like, fuck, dude. Even if he was 14, I'd be like, fuck, dude, why? And here's a big question for me. Where's this guy's parents? Like, whether the parents are great parents, or shit parents, or average parents, where are the parents in this situation? And I like Keemstar. I've defended him in the past a lot. I'm a big fan of Keem. And I hate to bring up his age because everyone does this 30-year-old man. But this fully grown adult is making hours worth of opinions. He's talking about the shit about their son, and they're not gonna make a Twitter account or make a YouTube account and comment on it. They're not gonna reply. Like, the kid should obviously be involved in replying directly, and I'm glad that he is. But can't the parents just sponge up some of the shit for the kid? That's another tangent. I'm not going to hate on his parents. I'm just saying that, like, they should be aware of this, at the very least. And, in my opinion, they should be making Twitter videos back at Keemstar, or talking to NetNobody, or even if there's, like, for example, in the Periscope video, I think his dad or his mom should have been there. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, kids should be independent, and they should think on their own, but, like, this is the internet. So many people, so many adults know about the situation and can potentially influence the situation, because this guy's a kid. I'm not going to toot my own horn saying he's going to watch this video for sure, but he's going to be listening to a lot of this stuff, even from smaller people, because this is his first experience with big drama and everybody talking about him, and he's a kid. Remember being a teenager, you obsess about what people think about you, it plagues your mind. He's going to be super curious about what people say about him, and even though most of it is good, if there's those couple hundred people who are super negative, making super negative videos, calling him out, maybe he can be resilient to it in the moment, but over time, it's going to fuck with him, dude. It feels like nobody cares about the well-being of this kid. Keemstar, I get that you hate Chubbs. I think it makes sense. I think your logic of him being a leech is sound, even though I'm not gonna claim that myself because I don't know and I haven't seen any major cases of leeching, but there's a possibility that it could be a big leech, and I do respect your opinion, and I do understand why you wanna personally go after Chubbs and blow the story out of proportion, but it's at the expense of a child. What the fuck, guys? Really? You can't step out of your fucking drama bubble for 1 second and be like, oh, maybe this is bad for the kid. Hey, Keemstar, imagine if your child was in this situation. You'd probably be supportive of her more than, I guess, Aiden's parents is being supportive of him. I'm not gonna hate on the parents, but I'm just saying based off their social media presence. So keep that in mind. I don't have any legitimate hatred. So it'd be better in that regard, but still, like, you'd be careful, you'd be protective, you'd make sure that she doesn't see all the fucking hate. I really hate to bring up this analogy because nobody would know what you would do or what situation should be in or what should say or how you deal with it, especially in your position. But Jesus Christ, you are dealing with millions of fucking people listening to this situation and millions of people knowing about this kid, and the weight of 1 million people on this guy's shoulders. I know it's not direct. I know maybe some of the hate's gonna be minor, especially compared to other drama situations, especially since people are gonna be way more favorable to him because he's 12 years old. But still, I think even if all the drama is mostly good towards him, I think it's so unhealthy for a child to be in this scenario. And you guys seem to be so fucking ignorant to it. You guys are like, oh yeah, let's just criticize him like he's a fucking fully grown adult and maybe he just doesn't know better a bit. Let's just treat him like he's a fucking the equivalent of a 20-year-old with autism, right? Let's fucking treat him like an adult, but have that little, disclaimer in the back of our head. But you know it's not a big deal, dude. Let's just milk the shit out of the situation because I hate Keemstar, or I hate Chubbs, and I want to go at it, and this kid's in the crossfire being fucking psychologically shot in the head, but who the fuck cares? YouTube views, am I right, boys? Like, fuck! Hell, dude, what? Do you guys even think, like, you gotta think a bit more before you speak in any reply with this situation in particular. Like, I think this situation shouldn't have been even on Drama Alert, right? Being scammed out of your money by Chubbs, yeah, that's a pretty shit thing to do. Chubbs is a pretty big YouTuber, it's a big news story, blah, 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 but it's not a big enough news story that everyone needs to fucking know about it. I'm sure you'll find other things to expose Chubbs on. You can talk about this a little, but I thought this situation was going to be over after the couple tweets from Keemstar and the lengthy explanation on Drama Alert. It's over, okay? Even Chubbs made his twit-longer apology. Whatever, you can have whatever opinion you want of that apology, but why is this being fucking milked to the point where Keemstar is on the verge of, like, breaking up friendship with Adam? Like, why is this being, I know why Keemstar hates Chubbs, and he wants, people who he thinks doesn't deserve, their fame to be shut down, just like how Leafy was shut down because he didn't deserve his fame, or Grade A Underage is now irrelevant, or whoever YouTuber is irrelevant that has pissed him off in the past. And I get it, I understand, okay? But Jesus Christ, there's a kid involved! Guys, fuck! And nobody seems to be realizing this. Am I fucking crazy? Am I crazy for thinking these things? And being worried about this child's well-being for the future psychologically? Being in drama is stressful. It fucks you up. I've been in minor drama. I've been literally shaking before because of some minor drama. And maybe I just am not as resilient to it. And maybe I know I'm not the same person as Aiden, but holy fuck, he's still a developing human being. He's mature, but don't forget his age. Come on, dude. And I hate calling people by their age because I think it's such a disservice to their intelligence. I think being like, oh, he's 12, oh, he's 12, oh, he's 12, oh, he's 12, implies that he's stupid. And he's not stupid. It's just, he's 12, dude. Fuck. Holy shit. I don't know. What do you guys think? I hate making reactionary drama videos like this because more information always comes out, your opinion changes. But for this, I don't think my opinion is going to change. This is blown up way out of proportion, especially for the person involved. Like, and Keemstar saying, like, oh, I'm going to shout you out on a channel with 3 million subs and who averages 1 million views plus per video. I'm going to shout you out and try to get you a silver play button and give you a fan base, and a drama fan base at that. Drama fan bases can be toxic as fuck. I think they're the most toxic community I've encountered on YouTube. Overall, the people who comment are just more toxic percentage-wise in general. That's not an insult to anyone who enjoys drama or comments on drama videos, because I'm one of those people, but the drama community is very toxic. And Keemstar is taking the core of that and sending them to this kid's channel. Maybe it'll be great for him in the long run. I haven't checked up on Lieutenant Corbus, but she got a shout out on Drama Alert, and she's 12, or was 12 at the time. I don't know what her age is now, probably like 13 or some shit. I feel bad for Aiden. And I know if he watches this, he's not going to feel bad and he's going to think I'm fucking retarded. But I can't be thinking on behalf of people. No matter what their age, I can't be thinking on behalf of people. But I'm just fucking concerned. And I don't really feel like any of these drama YouTubers are taking into account that this kid is 12. Yes, they are mentioning that he's 12 and they're changing their opinion based off his age. I don't think they understand what it means to be a 12-year-old in this type of environment, this toxic environment, or potentially toxic environment. Post your opinions in the comments. I'm very interested to hear. But, yeah, hopefully I don't fucking end my career off this video because, Making commentary videos with my opinions, I don't fucking know. It's a risk. See you guys later.